Hello and welcome to a jam-packed episode of Dropkick the Commute. This has been a crazy week of wrestling, and it's gonna get crazier because we're back in the car. Right, Galeer?
I'm driving. My AC doesn't work. It's 80 degrees.
Oh, no.
I love my car.
Galeer's a
And
little
guys,
sweaty boy.
This is why we need you guys to take us to the top, because I can't afford all these car repairs, and and that's why we're here. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
Yeah, for real. And speaking of making money, we've been posting left and right all over the place. We posted today our Double or Nothing reaction. Took a little longer. It's quite a long episode, but we had our reactions to the pay-per-views this past weekend. We've been fucking going crazy on clips, and they're getting views, and you guys are killing it. So it's very fire.
Thanks, besties.
You know what else was fire, Galeer?
What's that? Take me there.
Monday Night Raw, baby.
It was raw. It was emotional, you know? There was a lot raw about it. It was actually probably... yeah,
break your neck again.
Shout out to that guy. He's going to prison.
Yeah, for real.
Anyways, Raw. Yeah, it was a very good episode of Raw. You know, again, I feel like Raw TV, WWE TV generally isn't that appealing to me, barring NXT, of course. But it would be really nice if someone could let me go. No, but yeah, they're taking. All right, we're gonna be here all day, folks, which is great for the podcast. Raw was good, yes, and we covered a lot of ground, a lot of emotion, and a lot of drama.
Yeah.
And it was indeed insane to start off the week.
It was indeed. We really got spoiled this week on like the regular programming, like Raw, NXT, Dynamite. They were all really good. SmackDown tonight is gonna be fire as well. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. And what do we got first?
So starting off with Raw, we had a really good segment between Gunther, Drew, and Damian Priest. So Gunther came out and he was like, "Yo guys, I'm the king of the ring. I'm great. I'm really cool. I can't wait to challenge whoever for the World Heavyweight Championship." And then Drew McIntyre comes out and he's like, "Why are you talking about Damian Priest, bro? I'm gonna win at Clash at the Castle." Yeah. And then Priest came out, and we just had a really good segment between the three of them. I can't remember specifically. I can't like pick and pull any moments, but I liked the segment. I thought it built it up really well to what they're leading to. Like we've been saying, obviously CM Punk's gonna come back at Clash. He's gonna interfere. So we will most likely get.
Match.
You think so?
No, I don't think so. But give me it. You know.
No, that would be good.
It would be nice. Damian Priest, usually bad on the mic, felt it a little more this week. He was a little better, and you know, he was just kind of like, I don't know. People are dunking on him because he won it through Money in the Bank, but like, he was just like, dude, I held on to this for a whole year. Like, like I picked my spot. I don't know what you want me to do. And he's like, he was literally like, I cashed in because I won this in a ladder match.
Right.
That's how it works.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't just get this briefcase.
Like, look, Money in the Bank,
in a crazy match.
Cashing in Money in the Bank is like a coward move, but like it's a coward move that's been like normalized in wrestling.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's not that. I love the dichotomy or like the double standard when like a bad guy does it versus a good guy doing the same exact thing.
Right.
And I guess in this case he was a bad guy, but people were so happy that he did it because it made Drew look even worse. Yeah, I don't know. It's just what you do in wrestling.
Yeah, it's true. You know what else you do in wrestling, Galeer?
You have matches.
You do have matches, but you also interfere in matches when you get angry, just like Braun Breaker.
Oh my god.
He has been on a fucking destructive rampage, and it all started because Adam Pearce didn't put him in King of the Ring, so he's like, pissed.
First, you don't put me in King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Then, now what? And then, you see that crowd clip where he's like crawling through the, like through the crowd, like a fucking pussycat.
Yeah. So, Ricochet was in his match. Who was he facing? Was he fit?
He was facing Ilya.
Oh yeah. We had the Ricochet Ilya match. So Ricochet. So the match is going on, and Braun Breaker's like sneaking through the crowd. Obviously, you don't see him, but we got that other clip of him. He's coming through the crowd. He interferes, and he dives into the ring and spears Ricochet like his life depended on it, bro. Ricochet fucking did a full flip. Ricochet, when he sells, is so good every time. Yeah. And then Adam Pearce came out and was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? What's going on? Why are you doing this? Stop. And
I wanted him to destroy Adam Pearce right there.
Dude. He was standing next to him, staring at him, and I really thought he was about to fucking drop Adam, dude.
Yeah, he should have. I think it would have, like, although, yeah, I don't know. But he is clinically insane. He's on the biggest rampage I've ever, like, he's just fucking cooked, dude.
Yeah.
And like all over not being put in King of the Ring, man. Like, I don't know, if I wasn't put in King of the Ring, I wouldn't take it that personally, but
he is, though. That's crazy.
He is taking it personally. I mean, I get it. He's been NXT champion before. He deserves to have some spotlight, and I guess he is kind of getting it, but I gotta wonder what this is gonna lead towards. Are we gonna have some kind of payoff here?
I do like what they're doing right now, though, with him, because it's like it kind of makes sense, because obviously his debut, like, he debuted as such a powerful force. They were fighting for him over the draft. And I think it makes sense that he's just fucking destroying everybody, because, like, what else would they do with him right now? Because you have the World Heavyweight Championship, you have the story leading to that, and then obviously the Undisputed Championship. Like, Cody's kind of being put in these, like, random builds at the moment, but honestly, having Braun go after Cody, like, I don't think it makes sense right now. Like, let Braun cook for a little longer.
I think I'm realizing that Cody doing these, like, little one-off matches, like, I don't know, it kind of shifts our focus a little more towards the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, which is what they want right now.
Make it feel more important, and they have been doing a great job of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, Cody versus Braun, I think Braun fucking destroys the kid. Like,
oh, for sure. And then we had...
Oh God, that was so loud.
Well, I just spit out a fuck ton of rice.
You gotta get a hold of yourself.
Oh,
kid.
Man, what a mess. Okay. After Braun Breaker thoroughly destroyed everybody, we had a silly, goofy segment with R-Truth and The Miz.
Oh my God, this shit was gold.
It's so good.
It was so good, dude.
R-Truth was having a Memorial Day ice cream truck outside of the arena, and Miz goes, R-Truth, why do I have to wear this suit? And he goes, you know, I thought it would be good, so we can match our flavors. I'll give you got vanilla. And he goes, oh, I'm vanilla. And he goes, and and R-Truth goes, strawberry. And he's like, yeah, I was gonna say strawberry. And he goes, what were you gonna say? He goes, I was gonna say strawberry. And then fucking Xavier Woods comes up. He goes, what were you gonna say, Miz? And then Kofi Kingston comes up and goes, yeah, what were you gonna say, bud? He goes, I was gonna say strawberry.
I loved it.
And then they do a thing and they're like, hey, are you still holding that raffle for the tag title match? And Miz is like, what? What are you talking about? And Truth is like, yeah, I started a raffle for a match.
It's so wholesome.
I love R-Truth so much.
It's so wholesome, but it is. I like want to know. I want to know, like, I want to be in the room where that idea was pitched. Because, like, I feel like that idea had to have been pitched by them, not fucking creative.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they had to be like, hey, let's do this. It'll be funny.
I feel like when creative involves R-Truth, they just let him riff, dude. They just let him go and do whatever he wants. That's why he's so fucking funny.
Yeah, and you know what? People trash on him all the time for being a comedy character.
Yeah.
If he's enjoying it, fucking let him cook, man.
Yeah, dude, like, he's killing it, and you can tell he has fun. Like, he's getting paid to literally be funny.
He's bringing back John Cena's fucking finishers. He's bringing back John Cena's moveset.
That is my favorite thing.
My favorite bit is him being like, John Cena's my childhood hero, and he's like 5 years older than him.
Yeah.
That's the
so
bit.
Good.
Like, I mean, you can't go wrong. And Truth is doing, I would assume, what, you know, I feel like he's pretty comfortable in his career where he's okay, like, doing this till he retires.
Yeah. Because Truth, he had a lot of, like, big moments in the beginning, like, earlier in his career. And he's kind of always just been there. But, like, I would argue, like, as silly as the 24/7 title was, like, I always enjoyed the segments that had Truth in them, you know? Like, I never once was like, oh, this is stupid. Like, it made sense for him to have it because he was that funny character. And now, like, him with the tag title is just so, like, everything they're doing with it is so funny. And, yeah, like, Miz and
like,
Truth...
Miz is funny, too. Like,
oh,
Miz is a good... Like, when he needs to be funny, he can be funny. When he needs to be heel, he can be heel. When he needs to be babyface, he can be babyface.
Yeah. That's why it's such a good, like, tag team. Whether or not I think they should have gotten the titles, I don't know, but...
I like that they had the WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, they had their WrestleMania moment, which I'm sure, like, Truth is happy with, for sure. Like, he can fucking retire. He had a really good WrestleMania moment. He has the title right now. He's doing this, like, really good bit with Miz, and I think it's all worth it. Like, regardless of what our original thoughts about the titles were, I think it's paying off right now.
Someone said to me that the new, what is it, the World Tag Team or the WWE? I don't know which one they are.
Raw is the World Tag Team.
The World Tag Team new, like, belt designs look like pizza. And I can't unsee that. They look like two little pizzas.
They do.
And now,
two little pizzas.
I'd like to think that they get home and they sit down and they dine on some pizza with their pizza-shaped belts right next to them.
Yeah. I would say so.
Because Lord knows I would.
Yeah. Oh, leading into the next thing, earlier in the night, after the Gunther, Drew, and Priest segment, Braun Strowman came out because he was about to have a match with JD McDonough.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Braun beats the shit out of JD, pins him, wins the match, but then after the match, JD hits him with a chair, and then Strowman's, like, pissed off, right? So, throughout the rest of the episode, every time it cut backstage, Braun would come in the background and just be like, "Where's JD?" And he's just chasing him.
I'm trying to find him.
It made it so entertaining because you knew he was going to appear in every fucking shot. So he's just running around backstage going, "Where's JD? Where is he? I got to kill him." And this comes into play later on in the night. But then after that whole thing, we had a tag match with the Final Testament, and my only thought on this is they need to just not be there.
Dead faction.
Every time they get no reaction from the crowd, like, at all. whatsoever.
Yep.
And they come out and they're like, oh, we're big and mean. They're not good. They're not good.
They're a dead faction.
They really are. And they got the win, and, like, no one reacted at all. No one's booing them either, which is like, they literally don't care.
The second Karrion Kross went to main roster, his career ended.
Yeah.
Like, he's not where he used to be, and they decided that sticking people with him would be their best move.
Yeah.
And that clearly was not the right decision. They put Paul Ellering in there, and they were like, it's Paul Ellering! Now they're a good faction.
Yeah.
Paul Ellering hasn't been around since, like, the 80s. So half the modern fan base are going to be like, who the fuck's Paul Ellering? Like, kids don't know who Paul Ellering is. It's just some random bald guy. And, like, it's fine and good, and then AOP comes back, and then they try to stick them on there. It's just, like, not...
Yeah.
Like, they need to kill it. Like,
he needs to... Karrion needs to reinvent himself, but, at this point, even if he reinvented himself and tried something totally new, I still don't think anyone would care. Yeah,
I just don't know if he is built for the WWE, like, mold.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Again, his NXT run was great. Like, that was, like, what defined the pandemic era of NXT. He was a good champion, and he had a lot of good matches, and he just, like, nobody could stop him.
Yeah.
And then main roster, they gave him hair. They fucking put some wacky-ass gear on him.
Remember when he had his fucking BDSM mask or whatever?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they just, like... And that, like, they seem to do better about it now. Like, not, killing new, like, main roster call-ups. They're, like, better about it now, it seems.
Right.
But they just, like... If you were going to main roster... Like, do you remember hearing about the plan they had for Adam Cole?
Yes.
And how they were going to shave his head, and he was going to be Keith Lee, Bearcat Keith Lee's manager.
Yeah. I mean, that's like... that's
like,
obviously
why do they
a
have
problem
to reinvent
of...
them?
That's like a problem of the Vince era, obviously, because he had this, like, vision, and it was so completely different from, like, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Like, their visions for the characters, and they're kind of just letting the characters be their characters and do whatever. And then I think now that we're in the Triple H era and we're seeing these call-ups, like, he's not trying to fix something that's not broken now. Whereas Vince was like, oh, we got to change you into this because this is what we need. And it didn't work.
It's like, no, nothing needs to change. They didn't, and now, like, it's like Braun Breaker's up. They didn't need to change him.
Right.
I remember the big thing about the Vince era, too, was they would just get rid of people's first names. So, like, Matt Riddle was Riddle.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa was Ciampa.
Yep.
And then, like, Theory, just, like, shit like that. Like, you don't need to change anything about them. Like, the crowds are very different for NXT and just, like, regular... WWE, but it's like, we're fine. It's okay. Like, chill.
We had a match with Rey Mysterio and Carlito, and I was watching this match and I thought it was just cool because, like, this is a match that we would have gotten fucking years ago when they were both, like,
it said it was
massive.
Like 20 years since their last match against each other.
Right. So it was a very solid match. Judgment Day comes out to interfere, but Rey ends up picking up the dub. He gets, like, a 619 in the chaos of fucking everybody out there. Again, I thought it was a very good match. I enjoy what they're doing with Carlito and the Judgment Day, but I think the Judgment Day is kind of on its last leg. And I think that's what they're going for anyway. They're going for a Judgment Day breakup eventually.
I don't think they're going to recruit Carlito. It seems like they feel like he's trying to help them out and doesn't really do a good job.
Yeah.
And then they almost, like, feel the need that they have to help him out. Like,
right.
I remember Damian Priest, like, came through and like, did his moves and stuff, and it was just, like, it almost kind of feels like he's like, all right, fuck this. Like, I'll take care of this.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Like,
pretty much.
It just seems like everyone's getting frustrated.
It's turning into Damian taking care of everything for him, like, by himself. And at one point, he's just going to lose it and just be like, okay, fuck it. Like, I'm doing everything myself anyway. Like, I don't need you guys. And I mean, he's kind of already alluded to that. He's like, right, you guys need me more than I need you.
Yeah. Shake it, you know, cut him loose, let JD and Finn be a tag team. And then, I don't know, Dominic can get lost in the love triangle.
Yeah. Next match we had was Bronson Reed and Otis. Bronson Reed comes out. He's like, "Oh, I'm big, Bronson Reed."
Intercontinental,
bruv. And Otis, I was so sad because Otis is feeling himself. You know, it's kind of like what happened a couple weeks ago. He's like feeling it. He's like, "I'm gonna do the worm," and Chad's like, "No worm." And then Bronson takes him out, and he ends up losing the match. So. You know,
that worm is gonna be so good when it hits.
Yeah, when it does happen.
When the worm hits, it's gonna be incredible.
It's gonna be a crazy pop, dude. So, Chad's like, "Oh, you lost the match. You suck, Otis," and he goes to beat him with his fucking belt. But Alpha Academy, so Maxine and Tozawa, Tozawa come out. Maxine stops Chad from hitting Otis, and then Sami Zayn comes out and he's like, "Otis, you gotta believe in yourself, man. You gotta believe in yourself. Listen to the people."
Yep.
And then that goes downhill. So I think we're gonna get another. I mean, the Chad and Sami rivalry is continuing to heat up. I would really like to see a singles match between them very soon. I think it would go hard.
I want to see Chad win the title.
I do too.
I need it. And I need Otis. I need Otis to fake his heel turn.
Yeah.
Or his face turn, rather.
Yeah.
He needs to, like, I want him to help Chad win it, you know?
Yeah, help Chad win it, and then he takes out Chad, and then he's like, "I'm going to be the Intercontinental."
And then he does the worm.
Yeah, and then he does the worm, and everyone
freaks out. The crowd
out.
goes wild.
He's definitely next time he does the worm, it's going to be on Chad. I'm calling it. DraftKings, give me money.
I don't know if there's an option for that. Sorry, bud.
Oh, shoot. After this, we had what perhaps is Becky Lynch's last match for a long time. So we talked about this on the very first Fender Bender, which you can see on YouTube with video. A wonderful
That's
video.
Crazy.
But what might be Becky Lynch's last match, at least for a while, we had Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan, and again, pretty decent match. I feel like we see a lot of. I feel like Becky's rematches are always cage matches. Is that like a special thing?
Right. She do it with Trish Stratus?
Yeah.
Last year, and then.
Yep.
You know.
She did. I feel like, did she do one with Bailey at one point? I have that in my head.
Yep. There was one with Bailey fairly recently, I want to say.
Yeah. So,
you know,
Liv ends up getting the win here. However, again, Dominic Mysterio comes out to try and interfere. He opens up the door and he's telling Becky to crawl out. He's like, "Becky, crawl out, come on." And then Judgment Day comes out and they're like, "Dom, what are you doing? Let them be. You're gonna fuck it up." And then Braun Strowman comes out. And this was such a funny moment because, like, obviously Braun has nothing to do with this rivalry, nothing to do with the story, except that he's pissed off the whole episode and wants to fucking murder JD.
Yep.
So he comes out, chases JD around the ring, and he smacks into Dom and shuts the door. The door hits Becky in the face, and Liv Morgan crawls out.
Crazy.
It was very goofy. And then we got something even crazier after that.
Little smooch. Lip on lip. I mean, fuck, Liv, like, what is it? Tongue punch your throat box?
Yeah.
Oh,
you got it.
Yeah. So shout out to Liv and Dom, who just absolutely did not. Well, he sold the kiss. He definitely sold the kiss, but he did not like it.
Dom is.
You gotta
torn.
wonder what his. I wonder what his real life wife thinks. You know.
Yeah.
I wonder what she thinks. He was like, "Hey, so I'm gonna be." You know what's funny about this too is, him and Rhea didn't smooch once.
It's true. They didn't. It was just like they did everything around it to make it like
you knew.
Yeah.
You knew it was like a thing, but this was like. It also started like 2 years ago, and we were still kind of in the Vince era. So I don't know, the Vince PG era, if you will, and now Triple H. Maybe he's just like, let's let it rip.
Yeah.
But then, what's gonna happen when Mommy comes back?
Who knows? Custody of Dom Part 2, baby.
Can't fucking wait. It has to be at SummerSlam. She's not gonna be ready by then.
They gotta do it, right? They gotta do a Custody of Dom.
Yeah, I feel like.
I feel like they know they know the
for you to
enough.
not do it 20 years later.
Yeah.
Would be fucking stupid. Just to be able, like, it doesn't even have to mean much. It could be a 10-minute match, like, just to say that there have been 2 custody of Dominic matches. One when he was like, you know, however old, fucking like, I don't know, 6 or 7, and one when he's like in his mid-20s. Like, that's so funny.
It's
like
so good.
And we, like, I don't care how stupid it is. We look back on it and be like, wow, that's crazy that we, like, are living in a lifetime where there were 2 custody of Dominic matches 20 years apart. Like, back then he didn't even know he was going to be a wrestler, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe, you know.
It needs to happen.
Yeah. And that was Raw, right? That was
Raw. We have 2 more shows to cover.
All right, let's breeze through these because
yeah.
We still have a lot to cover.
Yeah, so NXT it was a twerk fest. Sexy Red was fucking twerking all over the place, everywhere.
Oh, dude, Booker T could not fucking keep it in his pants.
Shuggy duggy quack quack.
Yeah, he was down bad. Or at least it sounded like that.
Oh, for sure.
And we found out Sexy Red's going to be the host of Battleground.
Yeah, so she's going to host Battleground. Vic Joseph was, like, making fun of Booker. He's like, bro, keep it in your pants. Like, chill.
Yeah, it was good.
So Sexy Red comes out with Ava, and she reveals the Women's North American Championship.
Yeah, dude, it's nice. It's like almost like an inverted North American Championship. You know, it's red on the plate instead, and then it's white.
So that is going to be inaugurated at Battleground in a 6-women ladder match. Who, you know, we had the 2 qualifiers, the final 2 of the night. So the 6 women in that match are going to be Sol Ruka, Lash Legend, Fallon Henley, Jada Parker, Mi Chin, and Kalani Jordynne. What are your thoughts?
I think they're going to give it to either Kalani Jordynne or Sol Ruka, and I only say that because again, knowing what I know about NXT, just fairly surface level, like, Kalani Jordynne seems to be like the way they talk about the people, you can almost kind of gauge like who's more important. Yeah. I would say like top 3 are those 2, and then Fallon Henley, and then Michin's main roster. She's not going to win. Yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know, but
it would be a weird choice.
And then Jada Parker's fairly new still, and then who is the other one?
Lash Legend.
Lash Legend, I could see, but I feel like I haven't seen her wrestle like a super like big amount. So yeah, my pick is Sol Ruka because she's just like super talented. I sent Mufussy a picture of her and Tyler Bate. They were like dressed to the nines. I don't know where they were, but they looked so hot, dude.
Dude, I was real.
Like, I was like, God, this is so hot. I love both of them, and like when I found out they started dating, I was like, holy shit.
You're like, that is a beautiful
couple, dude. Like, yeah, the ladder match is gonna fuck. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be fire.
And, yeah.
So After that, we had Roxanne coming out. Roxanne Perez comes out. She's like, "Who's my next challenger gonna be? God damn it! I'm
She's
supposed
so
to be
mean.
heel, but I'm still sounding like a nice person."
Yeah, she's like the girl in school that wants to fit in with like the mean girls.
Yeah.
And she's a good girl at heart, you know? Yeah. I feel like I look at Roxanne and I'm just like, you can't be mean. You just look like a little brat. And I'm not knocking her. I think she's just better as a babyface.
Yeah, I agree.
But Ava came out and was like, "Can you shut your goddamn mouth?" And then she was like, "Here's your challenger." And then we hear the sirens. It's Jordynne Grace,
Fucking
the TNA
Jordynne Grace,
Knockouts champion. We saw her at Royal Rumble, and she was still the Knockouts champion then. She's still the Knockouts champion now, but she's trying to add some more gold. So
It's true.
You know, she did a little mic drop, was just like, "I'm your next challenger," and then we had a backstage segment with Stevie Taylor.
Yes.
And she was like, I'm assuming she's very new too, and she was like, "I want to prove myself on TV." And then Ava was like, or no, Jordynne Grace walked in and was like, "All right, we both get something out of this. Let's face next week."
Yeah.
So we're getting a fucking squash next week, folks.
Yeah,
It's gonna be great. And yeah, it's gonna be a good match. I mean, on paper, Jordynne Grace should win, but we're gonna
I have a prediction.
Yeah.
I think Jordynne Grace wins at Battleground because TNA has a pay-per-view coming up, and she's facing a mystery opponent.
You think it'll be Roxanne? Do you think they'll do like a cross promotional thing and then like trade it back and forth?
I think it would make sense for Roxanne to appear and just be like, "Hey, give me that back," and then she takes it. But it would also be cool if it's just someone completely different too, like whoever, like maybe they'll have like a #1 contender or some shit. But I think if Jordynne Grace wins, it opens up the possibility for fucking so much more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, TNA's done it before too, crossover shit. They did it with AEW.
Yeah.
So it would be cool. It would definitely benefit TNA more than, you know, WWE or NXT. But regardless, it's gonna be a killer match. And then it looks like we also have a new world title challenger for Trick.
All ego!
Dude, Ethan Page is in NXT, and he kind of fell off the radar at the end of the year with AEW. No one had heard of him. You hadn't heard of him.
I haven't. I messaged Galeer and I was like, "So who's Ethan Page?" Or I said
he was in.
I said also Ethan Page. Who's that? And you go, "What?"
Yeah, I was just like, "Damn, terrible day for me to not watch NXT live."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was in The Firm. I don't know if you remember them.
Nope.
In AEW. It was like Stokely's little faction. Yeah, that was before your time. But he's always been good at just being like an insane heel, like just like delusional.
Yeah.
I don't think he got a chance to shine in AEW, but hopefully he gets that opportunity. It's definitely strange seeing him on the screen in NXT, but it looks like he was the one who attacked Noam and Oro, and he is likely going to be the challenger for Battleground.
Yeah.
Which will be really cool.
I see Trick winning, obviously, but I think it'll obviously add to his repertoire of like, "Oh, I fucking beat Ethan Page." You know, it'll make him look good.
Yeah, exactly. So NXT was solid. Solid episode. A lot jam-packed into it for sure.
Yeah. We had Dynamite starting off with a little like promo by Mercedes. She's like, "Oh, I'm gaming, I'm winning, I'm great," and fucking Sky Blue comes out and she's like, "I'm gonna face you tonight," and she's like, "Okay." So we had a Mercedes defense, and that was later on in the show, but just to jump to that, I really like that she's not just holding the championship and not doing anything with it. I think having her defend and possibly, you know, if it turns into a weekly thing, I don't see it being weekly, but like, you know,
right.
More than just at pay-per-views, I think that it's going to be a really fun reign, you know?
Yeah. I was excited for Sky Blue.
Yeah.
And then I kind of realized it was a little bit of a squash. I mean, the match didn't go longer than, I don't know, 8 minutes.
Yeah, no, it was short.
So that's kind of sad, but I think, you know, they're putting Sky Blue as a heel too, and so it's good to see her kind of get more TV time.
Yeah.
Speaking of TV time,
TV time with the Learning Tree.
Oh man, we talk about him more and more each week.
Every week.
I think this is probably the funniest bit of our podcast is that we can't seem to get rid of him.
And he's getting better and better. He came out with there was a fucking cardboard tree in the ring, dude.
Oh my god, it was crazy. And then just the fact that it's called TV time is gold.
Yeah.
Like, man, oh man, it was so good. The Learning Tree University shirt, I want one now, which I hate that I want it. You know, it's good though. It's good, man.
And then, we had the longest reigning for the world champion at 39 days up on the screen the entire segment.
Yeah, I mean, he's not lying.
He's not lying. And of course, we had the whole "thanks, guys, hey everyone," and he was like, "I want to thank all the branches under the Learning Tree." He called Brian Keith a bad apple, but the bad apple doesn't fall far from the Learning Tree, so you can turn a bad apple and make it good again. Like all this shit, dude.
And Brian Keith went off on the mic too. He was like screaming. He was like,
"Yeah,
like I love Chris Jericho."
Yeah,
like what people don't understand you, Chris Jericho. You are a mentor. You are this. You are that. Like. He was like ball gargling so hard, dude. And then Hook comes out, you know, because Hook's not done with this beef yet. And then he's going to confront Chris Jericho, and then Samoa Joe's music hits, but for some reason Samoa Joe comes from the ring area.
Yeah, he like appears in front of Hook and like stops him,
which is just so strange.
It's
but
very weird.
He stops him, he whispers in his ear, and we get some backstage stuff from them later on that is alluding to them teaming up. Perhaps to take on the Learning Tree gang, if you will.
Learning Tree University.
Yeah, sorry. I'm interested to see how that tag team will play out, because they're good against each other, you know?
Yeah.
We'll see if they're good with each other. I see them both doing fucking rear naked chokes, like in stereo with each other. That could be cool.
Yeah, that would be. Before the Learning Tree University segment, we had the House of the Dragon Whose House match.
That was stupid.
It was so dumb. And Swerve was facing Killswitch, which was good. And Killswitch,
but why?
Killswitch did a standing moonsault.
Yeah, he does that. Like, that's normal for him. That's fucking...
Yeah.
He's chilling. I would expect there to be some kind of stipulation.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Being a different match name. Like, I was like, oh, it's like a no DQ match or something. No, it's just because Swerve's in it and the show is called House of the Dragon.
Yeah. And,
I mean, cool, promote the show, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, there was no stipulation. They changed the match name. Justin Roberts fucking announces it like it was all supposed to be crazy, but no, it was just.
And this is what I'm like. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Like, I loved Swerve versus Christian, and this kind of plays into it because it's Killswitch.
Right.
But I was just like, why are you throwing into a gimmick match that's not even a gimmick?
Yeah.
And doesn't mean anything. You're not advancing anything.
Right.
I mean, I know they had the Battle Royal, but, like, this is what I'm talking about. It's like we have a high and then we just have, like, a low, and it's like,
yeah,
what's happening?
Yeah. It's very weird.
It wasn't a bad match.
No, it wasn't, but it's just what the fuck are they going to do with Swerve? You know?
Yeah, and there's more. We'll get into it once we get into the main event, but like, nothing is adding up right now.
Yeah, it's very weird. They're kind of all over the place. We had another eliminator match for Jon Moxley.
Yeah,
and Jon Moxley wins. Like
Rocky Romero. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I love watching him wrestle, but like. Nothing happened after the match.
Yeah, nothing's feeling important right now, and it's just like, ugh.
He had a promo, and he was like, "Oh, I will fight like here, and then I'll go to fucking Japan, and then I'll go to Mexico, and then I'll go wherever like I need to go to like win." Yeah. But it's just like, okay, that's great. I don't know, like, yeah, man. I don't have words at this point.
Yeah.
He's got a match coming up at New Japan Dominion. I don't even know who it's against, but
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything anymore, man.
Yeah,
I love Mox, and yeah.
After that, we did have a story here. I almost said John Callis. Don Callis comes out. And he's like, I got a contract for the Callis family. Orange comes out, and he takes the contract, and he rips it in half. And Don Callis is like, what the fuck?
Hey, Don. No.
Yeah, no. And then he's like, well, fine. And then Chris Statlander comes out, and she's like, how about my best friend joins the Callis family? And Trent Beretta comes out and beats the shit out of Orange Cassidy, and then he hugs Don Callis. So
this and they do the best friends hug. They do the zoom out.
Yeah,
they do. Gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah.
I said the reaction episode that I didn't want this to happen, but now that I'm seeing it, I'm not like opposed to it because I think what
we were thinking was Orange was going to be in the Callis family along with Trent, and it was going to be weird.
Yeah.
But this works.
Yeah, no, I forgot the whole point of this was that it was going to be for Orange Cassidy. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I thought we just kind of assumed he was in it.
Yeah, we assumed because, I mean, they didn't say, like, Orange is joining the Callis family. Like, they said, we have a new contract. Yeah, right. So.
Shout out Trent, though. He was dressed to the nines. He looked good.
He was. He looked good. He looked good. He looked
pretty all right.
We had a video package about MJF, and they made him feel huge, dude. They made him feel like a fucking star that he is.
They gave him the Kenny Omega treatment.
Yeah, they did. And one of the things was the narrator, like, was doing her whole bit, and then she goes, his name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and he's not fucking leaving. And I loved it.
It was good. I'm glad they're sticking with that as a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also had a little vignette from Rush El Toro Blanco.
Yeah.
Immediately after that announcement, he was like, "Hi MJF, let's fight."
It was goofy.
So I'm guessing that'll be his first match back, and I don't know if it's just gonna be a match. It must be a match to put MJF over. I don't really know.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was like, is this what we're going into? I mean, I don't know. Well, all I hope is that they don't drop the ball, because this is the guy they built their company around him, for the last year and a half, 2 years. And actually, honestly, since the beginning, they've really built it somewhat around him.
Right.
And they lost that for 5 months, and you saw what happened. Not saying he is the sole reason everything is the way it is now.
He definitely makes a difference.
He was he was someone I look forward to every week.
Sure. So we're getting his actual return next week on Dynamite. He's coming back.
Hell yeah.
The Elite come out, coming off of Adam Copeland's injury here. The Elite come out and they're like, Adam, so sorry, buddy, but we're stripping you of your title and we're giving it to the new TNT champion, Jack Perry.
Dude, I honestly, like, popped. I was kind of like, this is great. Like,
yeah.
People are going to hate him so much. I wouldn't have been mad about it.
Yeah, me neither. I think it was definitely a good angle for the Elite. I still think, like, I don't know. It's weird that the Elite won. They're, like, taking over AEW, doing all this stuff. But then at the same time, you have Tony Khan back. And then he's, like, fighting back now. Because
and now you have Christopher Daniels is like the new like acting EVP. He got like upgraded to EVP status,
yeah.
So he's like, I guess he's like counter ruling against the Bucks, and he said that's not gonna happen. It's gonna be decided in a tournament type deal. Mm-hmm. Which is just like, well, if he's at the same position of power now as the Bucks, then the Bucks can just be like, no.
He's interim EVP, so like...
So he's at the same level at the Bucks.
Yeah, like, it's... the way that they've framed it is like, Tony Khan is at the top, and then all the EVPs are the same level. They all have equal say. But now they're saying that Tony Khan just made this one EVP higher than the rest of them? Like,
I don't know.
Shouldn't
Tony Khan at that point should just come out and be like, no.
Right.
And you know, I was ragging on the way Tony Khan talks whenever he's got a mic, but honestly, if he came out and just like talked back to them,
yeah,
like I would be hype about it. Like,
yeah, I would too.
Because it's like, go little rock star, take back your company.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is like, I think at this point he doesn't want to be an on-screen character, like you said the other day, but
I think we've gathered that.
I feel like the story that they're going, he needs to be.
Calls for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who's to say, right?
Yeah. We'll see how the tournament goes. We'll see what happens with the Elite more. I don't know.
Let's see Jack Perry win it anyways.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
And then they all have belts.
Yeah.
And although, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know who else is in it. I know there's Takeshita and Penta, and Takeshita would be another good pick if they want to build him up again. So
yeah. Then we have the Casino Gauntlet. It was good. It was hype.
It was great. Why did Will Ospreay win?
Right. What the fuck? They don't...
He just won a championship.
He won the international championship, and now they're putting him against Swerve. Why?
So, here's the thing. He just won a championship, which is great. We're going to get some great matches out of it. But now, you've got him against Swerve, and that's for Forbidden Door, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct. Yep.
So that you're going to tell me they're going to spend a whole month building to that?
Yeah, and they're going to put a Swerve into a bunch of title defenses between then, and obviously Swerve's going to win.
That with Will's. Yeah, and I don't know. It's there's like all that, and then it's like, are we going to still have international championship matches? Why did you have to have a champion? Like, I get it. Like, for bigger picture, like Forbidden Door, it would be a sick match. But at the same time, I think historically, like, Forbidden Door has had, like, someone from New Japan challenge for the world title.
Exactly.
Because I think last year it was, like, Tanahashi.
Yeah.
And then the year before, it was, like, a four-way for the world title or something like that. And
yeah.
So, it's just very confusing, and Ospreay, like, it's going to be a good match, but, like, we're going to spend the next month building this up, and then are we going to forget about the international championship? It's just, like, you immediately do a disgrace to, at the very least, one of the championships if you're going to put them in a rivalry against each other.
Yeah. And so, it's, the thing, too, is So in one episode, we started builds to 2 title versus title matches. This one, and then Mercedes facing Stephanie Vaughter. Now, that one's a little different because she's the New Japan strong women's
champion.
Yeah. So, but it's still a title versus title match. I get ones for another company, but they do so much cross promotion anyway. It doesn't really feel like it's for another company. And then you have this one, which is 2 AEW titles, but like they're making them feel not special.
It feels like when 2K books the universe card for you.
It does.
And it just like doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I wanna hope and pray that it'll shape up into something good and make me wanna see. Like I do wanna see it, but knowing what I know and knowing that it's gonna be champion versus champion, I just don't care for it.
You want to see it for the wrestling, but not for the story.
There's no story. What's the story you're gonna tell me there?
Right.
I don't know.
Nothing.
Forbidden Door has been a good pay-per-view, but it's like almost like the Survivor series of. I think I said this before. It's like the Survivor series.
Wormy said it on the Double or Nothing episode.
It's like the Survivor series of AEW, where it's like you might get title versus title. Like I love cross promotional stuff, but I don't know. It's tough because. Like when I see title versus title, I'd rather have championships on the line, but not 2 champions versus each other. That's why I was like, Logan Paul and Cody was good, but I didn't like if he wasn't holding the U.S. title, it would feel more important because then you have that like little like disbelief of like maybe he'll win the championship because he's not the champion. Like he's more likely to win it not being a champion.
Yeah.
But like absolutely for sure positive he's not going to win it because
he already is one.
He just won a championship. And if that happens, fuck, dude, then nothing's real, nothing matters.
Yeah, like WWE, their title versus title match is like, when was the last time we had one? Fucking Roman and Brock? When they unified?
Yeah.
And well, besides the tag titles, but then they ended up splitting them back anyway. But
yeah,
I don't know. AEW is just making it not feel special. Like comparing it to NXT, where fucking Jordynne Grace comes out. Like that's a huge moment.
Mm-hmm.
Not only because of her being from TNA, but also it's title versus title.
It's like Vakor and Mercedes.
Yeah.
It's like she's from a different company, not the same company with that company's championship.
Yeah. So
I don't know. It's all fucking cracked out, and I don't really understand all of it, but I'm interested to see what we get, in the coming weeks.
You know what else we're gonna get?
A nice weekend with my friends and family.
Hell yeah, brother. And I'm gonna get full from eating my Panda Express.
I got nachos waiting for me inside, dude. We're so back.
Yummy. We are so back. Yes,
gamers,
bestie.
Thank you for listening and watching and supporting and engaging, because we love that shit. And we'll see you as developments happen and all that good jazz. And until then, continue to drop kick your
weekend. Drop kick
Take
your
that week.
title
Drop kick your
title.
week into oblivion.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Cool.
All right. See ya.
All right. Bye.